Hello guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I'm out using my new camera. I decided to get a new camera for you to view me on because the last one I was using was a bit of a pain in the bum. It could get some really good quality footage, but the lighting conditions had to be right and the autofocus didn't work properly, so even when it was on it was focusing on absolutely nothing, so it was an absolute pain in my backside. So I've got a new camera. Hopefully it looks a little bit better. It's a lot easier for me to film with. I don't even have to check it to see what it's filming because I know the autofocus on this is incredible. So I'm out today filming some pike. Now I've been doing a bit of lure fishing recently, as you've probably seen by the videos uploaded on my channel. And even though that is my preferred way of catching pike at the moment and has been for the last couple of years, I can't help but get out and chuck a dead bait every now and again, have a bit of a relaxing session, sit back, put the dead bait out there, maybe have a float rod with me as well to trot some baits around in the flowing water in the river and see if we can get any nicer fish out. I know it's something a lot of people do, especially here in the UK. Dead baiting is massive, especially during the winter time when the pike are a bit more lethargic and sit around especially in the rivers, they'll sit around in the slack areas and the deep holes, and it can be a really good way of catching them. So I'm out today, I've got two rods with me. I've got one rod which is already set up and already cast out. Now this rod is, I'm classing it as my feeder rod. It's a 3 pound test carp rod. I think it's a Daiwa Black Widow. But I'm using it like a feeder rod. You might have seen it in some of my old videos. This is how I used to do most of my pike fishing on the rivers with dead baits. Would be casting a dead bait out there, because the flow is so heavy on my local river, basically prop it up on a rod rest like you would do if you were barbel fishing or chub fishing, and just waiting for that rod to tap. Basically what the pike will do is when they come and pick up your bait, you'll get an immediate bunk on the rod tip like that. 9 times out of 10 that's how it will go. Sometimes it'll bend your rod straight over and then you'll see the rod tip starting to thump, and that's when they're actually chomping down on the bait. So what you want to do is, I'll talk you through it now. As soon as you see that thump on the rod tip, you'll probably keep seeing me look up at the rod tip because I don't want to miss anything while it's out there. As soon as you get that first bump, you want to grab a hold of the rod, maybe even hold the line, undo the bail arm, hold onto the line and feel if there's a fish on, chewing on it, maybe, I don't know, count to 5 or something, and set the hook. You don't really need to set it. You can just reel down and slowly pull up the rod tip, and that should pull the hook nicely into the pike's mouth. I'm experimenting today with a single and a treble hook on the trace, just to try something a little bit different, see if the hook up's still just as good but using less hook points, and yeah. But for now, I'm going to do this for today, see if I can catch anything. I've only got 2 hours of fishing. 2 hours of fishing. I'm hoping that I'll be able to get enough content in this 2 hours. The river looks alright, it's coloured. I think this straight ledger tactic isn't going to be the winner today. I think the float tactic will. The float tactic involves a little bit more effort from me, but it means I can move the bait around in a lot of areas, a lot of swims. I did this last year, basically a float up to a stop. The float's free running up and down the line, down to a wire trace with the treble hooks on, and that's it, no weight or anything like that. And what I'm doing is casting that into the main flow, and the weight of the float, dragging in the flow, will actually drag the bait along the bottom. So I'll have it set over depth, probably 2 foot over depth, and as the float pulls down the river, it will drag the bait along the bottom with it. And normally what will happen is when a pike picks it up, your float will lift straight up, go under the water, and then you can basically do the same as what you do with most pike. Reel down to it, feel if the fish is bumping on the end of the line, lift into it, hook the fish, land the fish if you're lucky. So they're the 2 methods I'm doing today. Hopefully you're not bored already just from listening to me talk. I'm going to get on with some fishing and hopefully we can get some fish on the bank. Just as I've finished talking, I've got that bump on the rod rest. Let's see if we can get a fish. Great, fish took my bait. Just had the thump on the rod tip. Somebody's picked it up. Let's go for a quick strike. Reel down and set the hook. We're in. Oh, it come off. Oh, gutted. That was a nice fish as well. Damn it. Don't need any fancy float for float fishing. They all do the same job, as long as they float. I'm setting this up while I'm keeping one eye on the ledger rod, just in case something happens. I think both my takes so far have been from the exact same fish. And I don't think that fish is going to come back after I hooked it. So this rod's got a 15-pound main line. The rivers I fish are, should I say the waters I fish are skinny waters, small waters. The majority of fish I catch are jack pike. What I'm going to do now is I put a float on, I'll show you now, float, got a little float stop just above it, stop it from going up the line, and then right now I'm going to attach my wire trace, and then that's as easy as that. I can get fishing with that then. Right, the float's gone under. It's the third time it's gone under now. First two times was probably snags. This is a fish. Let's go. Yep. Oh, yep. It's not a monster, but it is a pike. Come on, it's not that big. See one of the hooks right out the front of his mouth. Got to be careful when I land this fish. This is why I use a 3-pound test rod on the river when I'm dead baiting. Because it can be really hard to pull in this heavy float. There we go. In the net. Let's take a look at him. I've set a beautiful pike. I did actually just film me unhooking him, but unfortunately I'd not pressed record on the camera. Getting used to the new camera. It's a beautiful pike though. It's probably about £5. Chunky fish. Really, really fat belly on it. You can tell it's just sat in the slack water. Probably just lapping up little roach that swim around in the slack areas where they can get out in the main flow. It's a bit deeper there as well. But yeah, real chunk this little guy is. Probably in summertime he's more of a fish that's going to be like £3.5, but at the minute I'd say he's easily about the £5 mark. Nice chunky fish, really healthy, good condition. Hardly a mark on him. Got him resting in the net already. Let's get him back. That's awesome. See if we can get any more. Thought I saw a bit of movement on the rod tip then. That'd be a bit quick. It's only been out in the water a few seconds. I did get a tap on the rod tip. That's what I told you to look out for. Right. Okay, I can see my bait moving downstream. I can see part of my bait moving downstream. That means a small jack pike's got it in its mouth. Okay, I think it might have the bait now, probably. Let's go for it. Fish is on. He's still T-boned it. There we are. It was still holding it sideways, but I've still managed to get the hook up. Oh yeah, really little fish. Just hooked in the scissor. Nice. It's only a little fish. We'll get him out, take a look at him, get him back. There's one hook already out. Barbless hooks always do the trick. The other hook, look, he's right in its scissor, so there we are. Barbless hooks, like I say. Always quite nice and easy. There we are, out of the net. It's only a small jack. Probably about £2, 2.5. It's quite a long fish actually for how skinny it is. Let's check its neck, make sure there's no traces down there. No. I think it's just not had a hot dinner in a while, this one. Quite a nice looking fish though. I think it is quite in good condition even though it's quite skinny. Chumped that sardine, it definitely T-boned it. I had one hook in that scissor and one hook in this scissor, which showed it was just chomping on the side of it, but still. Struck, I managed to get the fish. I would have struck a lot earlier if I hadn't have actually been able to see the tail and head end of the bait slowly moving downstream. Because like I say, when it comes to pike, it's better off to strike early. If you don't know, just strike early. There we go, beautiful little fish. Let's get him back. Just cast it upstream. I've got to take on the float. Oh yes, yeah, fish on the single hooks. Single hooks. It's not a huge pike, but it's bigger than that one I've just had. Putting up a good scrap for a little guy actually. My net broke up way down here, so that's really, really useful. Go on, little guy. Oh yes, in the net. Now, I was going to get the mat out, but this is all moss and grass here, so I'm not too worried about harming the pike by having him on moss and grass. Let's just flip him over and take a look. There we are, look. Single hooks, both of them hooked nicely. Oh, so that one out already. Like I say, barbless. That one's out. Be really careful of them teeth. Don't want to damage him. And there we go. It's a beautiful pike. It's the biggest one so far of this video. It's probably about, I don't know, maybe £6, something like that. Here we are, a beautiful pike. So far the biggest one this video. It's really, really fat. This one's probably about £6. But really, beautiful fish. Nice markings on it actually, and like I say, incredibly, incredibly fat. Really fat fish. These fish at the minute are just sat in the slack waters munching on roach. But these fish are super cold in this water, and I think it was being lazy picking up and picking off injured and dying dead fish off of the bottom of the river. Got fatty. Let's get him back. So thank you guys for watching the video. Please don't forget to subscribe if you're new to the channel, or if you watch it regularly and don't subscribe, don't forget to hit the button, and you can keep up to date with my latest videos. You can also keep up to date with my latest videos on Instagram, where I post pictures of pretty much every session I go out on, and I also give updates on there to when the next session is going to be and when the next video is going to be uploaded. I also do upload sometimes to my Facebook, so I'll leave the link to that in the description as well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys later.